streams with like bone or without bone?
I'm really hoping the stream got bone or with bone.
To bone or not to bone. Welcome to Crobatalks.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Crobatalks. About the D&D 5th edition campaign by me, Tom, aka BlazeFort. We have some of the players here to maybe ask questions or talk about things. We have Justin.
It's me.
We have Riley.
Hello.
We have Mary.
What's up?
We have Alex.
I like my winged stream with bones.
And we have Josh.
Hello.
You can tell impromptu is the theme here. This will probably go up on YouTube. So if you're watching on Twitch, don't forget to follow and maybe subscribe. If you're ever watching on YouTube, comment, like, and subscribe, and catch up on the other videos. Yeah. Thank you, Alex, for the resub.
Right.
Oh, that means my resub's up. Why did I not get a notification about it?
Alright, you slept last week. Great.
What? Why is it giving me? Lame. Whatever. Anyways.
So we don't have a huge structure for this, but we're gonna talk about pretty much like the first arc, so like up to the attack on boat rate and that kind of stuff. Again, because this is impromptu, I don't have a really place to start. Does anyone have a question? Preferably like earlier on in the campaign, like we'll kind of move things forward, I suppose, but I'm not set on that. If someone has something that they're really itching to ask.
Oh, now I gotta go look through my old notes.
Right. How's Don Don Fat Rabbit doing?
Oh God.
What did he do after distributing all of the courier letters?
He went home to his family?
What's his wife's name?
I guess I'm working during this.
That's
Is
a weird name.
Is it DD Fat Rabbit?
Sure is.
Oh, I have a question. So this is for DM.
Mhm.
So we talked about how Simon was in league with the Void Walkers, and he got arrested, and they decided that he was a pawn. How do you envision that he first ended up meeting with Lord Zedran?
Zedra.
Zedram.
We got there.
Oh,
How did you envision that happening? Was it just like a happenstance situation? Was like the Luster Company not doing well, and Lord Z was like, "Hey, I can help." Like, what was the story there?
Well, as you know, it's like they kind of try to appeal to people who are in like a rougher situation. Keep in mind that like he just gained like a huge responsibility of taking care of the company. Like it's not like the company's falling apart, but like he's struggling to manage this whole thing.
I forget. He had his dad or something had just died, and he took care of the company? Okay.
Yeah, his dad died in like the last few years, I think. I don't know how recent it was.
So he's still proving himself to the company.
I think he's proven himself. It's just that it's still a lot of stress on him.
So it was a lot of like we can help you, with
was
getting
a lot
control
of-
of the company.
It was a lot of we can help you if you help us.
I mean, I guess that makes sense. He was big about the whole trade situation, and so like his company was probably hurting now that they were in lockdown. Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Dundun's wife is named Lita, by the way.
What a pretty name.
I love it. Canon.
And because it'll literally never come up, her maiden name is Cherry Cheeks.
That's so cute. Well,
Well, I guess we gotta start
looking
getting
for
some
this
mail
random
sent
guy.
out, huh?
Yeah.
We're just gonna start mailing things slowly to talk to this NPC.
Yeah.
Missy sends
Sounds about
mail. Missy sends and receives mail, I think. She does.
Yeah, Tom.
Mm.
Where's our mail carrier?
Where's our man Don Don? Our guy Don Don.
Friends, take your wife to work day. We want to meet the missus.
Where's my guy Toad Man? Where's my guy Toad Man?
Okay. Is there any other questions?
I have kind of a generalized question.
Okay.
Are there any perceptions of NPCs that the players have that you didn't expect? The most specific example is the deadbeat dad. And the fact that Gal is both constantly the most suspicious person we've ever seen in our lives and also our best friend. Constantly. We're like, Gal, come with us. Gal, are you a fucking cult leader? Like, back to back. You expect that?
Everyone's perception of Emit is very interesting and not expected.
You mean you weren't expecting us to see a dragon dad with dragon children that he doesn't care about and not drag him?
not that he
Please
doesn't care
don't
about
group
them,
Zenny in
they're
with this,
adults.
everyone.
But
Yeah, actually, Misfortune, like, I believe it was, like, revealed that she was only doing that as a ploy to get Gorgon's attention or something like that. That was, like, something that she, like... That was a conversation that our characters had earlier on in the campaign. Yeah, she was like... Because, like, Gorgon was, Gorgon heard, like, Misfortune, like, just blurting out about, like, a deadbeat... Emit being a deadbeat dad. And then he was really confused about this, so we went to go and talk to her about this, and she's like, "Oh, I lied because I just wanted to get your attention," or something like that. I forget exactly how it played out.
Mayor, can you give us a response on that?
Yeah,
one?
Mayor.
And
Fantastic.
now we wait.
When we do
I'm
the
curious.
oh, sorry, continue.
Like, no. You can.
I was just
We're
gonna
gonna
say
start a
when
new
we do the-
thing? Or-
I was just gonna say when we do the premiere of this YouTube episode, that's where Mare has to input her answer. Continue.
I was gonna ask, is there like anyone besides Zen who likes Emit? Like in the group?
I thought Misfortune. At least that was my general consensus, is that Misfortune liked Emit, but wasn't too upfront about it like Zenaria was.
What I have in my notes, I have bolded Missy actually admires him as an Emit, but was trying to get through to Gorgon, not necessarily get his attention. And then in quotes, I imagine from Gorgon, you admire him, but you think he is a deadbeat. And no, she just wanted to get Gorgon to listen. She doesn't have that strong of an opinion on him.
Oh, okay, fair.
I think
Actually, what is Edelweiss's opinion? I don't think I ever heard specifically.
Edelweiss has like, it's not like a strained annoyance at Emit, but it's like, you know, when you like know somebody and you're not really friends with them, and you just talk nicely to them because like it's easier than being mean to them about anything, but you don't so much care for them. That's kind of how Edelweiss sees Emmet, because in Edelweiss's mind, Emmet's like a diplomat or a dignitary, and so like knowing about himself, he knows that these are probably people that he shouldn't be mean to. But like Emmet's not particularly good or bad in Edelweiss's eyes, so it's just like he's there. He's pretty indifferent. It's just he's surrounded by people who will make jokes about Emmet, and it's fun sometimes. Like he'd never say that to Emmet's face, and he'd be like nice and cordial around Emmet, but like, yeah, guy's weird.
What about Den? I feel like we haven't gotten a strong opinion from Den either.
Throden, it's interesting because I don't think he has anything personally against Emmet, but he has a strong distrust of the Boatwright Council, generally. Which basically, yeah, there's not really been anything that brought it up, but it goes back to like the second assignment we got from them.
What was the second assignment we got again?
Yeah, it was going to the Fire Temple. Not a better name for it.
Yeah.
Right. That's an interesting one.
Yeah, it's not what I would have expected.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how much I should say, because some of it might be better done like in the game, but
No, that's I think that's a good amount. Because Den is also usually the one that's like, hey, we should probably continue with the council.
Yeah.
Like, we should talk to them. We should go see what's up with them. And so, like, it's always very much, at least otherwise, it's always been like, oh yeah, I guess we should update them. But like, no, it's like, you just want to make sure they're not messing something up. They're not doing something secretive. Interesting.
well, that's an interesting point, Justin. Yeah. Nothing personal with Emmet, though, just, general distrust for the council.
I'm writing down notes like this matters to the campaign.
Yeah. That's actually really interesting, and Zen and Den could have a really interesting talk about that.
Yeah.
Except she doesn't know about this.
Yeah.
There are a few things I have for throwing around, like, this would be interesting if it ever came up.
Definitely.
On that note, just recently I actually came up with, like, some, like, a birthday for Throden and some other dates, and I'm curious if anyone else has, said anything like that in their backstories.
Nope.
I do have a birthday.
Nice.
Well, no one's given it to me, at least.
I don't have it.
Gorgon probably, in all honesty, Gorgon probably doesn't remember his birthday.
Actually.
That's sad.
Because he's so fucking old.
No, so like
It's been 3 months he's been alive.
I mean, this kind of goes into a bit of like backstory stuff. You'll probably find out in the coming episodes. But essentially, Gorgon didn't come from the most encouraging family, and then after he left Artwar, he didn't really. There was like no way of actually celebrating his birthday, so Gorgon just doesn't know when his birthday is, just because of how little it meant to him. But yeah. Yeah.
What a sad boy. Like, we
What a
found
grumpy
the
man.
secret angst man of the group.
Yeah. Now that I think of it, I'd probably maybe I'd make another like addendum to Gorgon's backstory, but maybe he would celebrate the day that he met his mentor, which I don't think I've talked about too much yet. It hasn't really come up. Yeah. He would probably celebrate that with his mentor, but yeah.
That's cute. I don't think Edelweiss knows his birthday either. But that's just because, like his village is so, like, one village family that it's like we're all in this together. No one really has a familial birthday thing.
Oh,
That was
Tom's
weird.
back. Tom said green.
Green screen reveal, guys.
Tom was just, getting munched on by a gelatinous cube for a second. It's fine.
Tom is actually a deep fake this whole time. And the program glitched.
Who man Tom?
Who meant Tom?
Who man Tom?
Yeah. But someone has a birthday. Mary?
What month are we in now?
November. In
Is it
terms
no?
of,
Haven't written down.
Nariel?
Nariel.
in terms of
Yeah,
like,
Nariel. It's like
Cool.
the second of Nariel, I guess.
Yeah.
We were going to go into
And
the
it's-
third, but yeah.
since
So
birthday.
currently it's the
I'm,
second.
I'm about to be 103. Her birthday is in Nariel.
Are calendars like consistent across planes?
Let's say
I
yes.
Did they was there like a meeting between
I would say-
representatives of all planes
If-
to like
if
get this
not-
down set?
I would say
I
Shadowfell and
imagine-
Feywild would share a calendar.
Yeah.
Whether the
That's
Feywild
fair.
sticks to it, I'm not sure.
That's fair. They don't need to care about it. Also, I feel like Zenny could also count the days. Because I feel like recording the passage of time should be important to elves. Because they're so old, and like I feel like knowing how old you are should be important to elves, so I just feel like she should know. So yeah.
So even if it like she might not know when her birthday is in like boat rate terms, like she knows that like
It is
in her plane today is her birthday
Yeah.
because it has been X amount of days since the day she disappeared.
Exactly.
I like that.
It's it's
Go-
an area. So
Going
she
off
knows.
of that, going off of that, and sticking with you, Mary.
Mm.
Does time feel like it goes the same for Zini that it would for a regular person? Think like in Marvel, Thor is an immortal, and so days feel like seconds to him because he just lives that long.
So I think you mean like as elves in general, the way I'm thinking about them, basically.
Yeah, because they live like 1,000 years. Does
Yeah.
anybody else live that long in our group? No, right?
No.
No.
You guys actually have really short lifespans. A lot of you are under 100, I think, or tieflings are over 100.
Tieflings are
I think they're like slightly longer.
But
Yeah.
both dragonborn and orcs are
I thought
low.
tieflings were like 85-ish.
Oh, were they?
I thought so.
I might be fully wrong.
Well, they're like a little longer than the humans.
The humans.
Ooh.
I know they're slightly longer than humans. I just don't know what like the actual human lifespan is in D&D.
A few tieflings live as long as 150 years,
Okay.
All right.
according to this. So I really wanted to approach Zenny as being extremely alien, because I'm so old and so weird and from literally a different planet. But I feel like, the perception of time is different. It's hard to say if the perception of the passage of time is different, but like the feeling that like Zenny has that like, oh, I've only been training for 2 years. I have no idea what I'm doing. Where like, how long did Throden train before he was in the militia he was in? Or was it a group of mercenaries? Council
It was
thing?
like a military order.
How long did he train before he was officially part of it? Was it under a year?
Oh no, it was over a decade, I'd say.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That makes more sense.
He was-
That's fair.
He was
'cause
training for a long time.
He was wealthy, so he probably started training young.
Yeah.
Okay. Which
And
makes
the
more sense.
Dragonborn, are like largely grown, as I recall, like around 3-ish. They
That's
aren't
fair.
adults, but a lot of growing is done.
So he could have been training for longer.
So I do have
That
the
makes sense.
PHP open if anyone's curious about ages.
Because everyone else lives under like 100.
Yeah. Dragonborn go to like 75-ish, I think.
Yeah. What are
80.
What are Goliaths?
80. Oh.
Goliath are not PHP. I don't have that open.
Haha!
Oh,
Oh.
we lost.
Oh,
We did lose Justin.
Yeah. He was
his
frozen.
Wi-Fi probably went out.
I am now half Justin.
Yeah, actually.
That's the only thing that changed. What the hell?
That's
Yeah,
weird.
because
Because
me,
he's red
Mary, and
bumping.
Riley are on top.
Yeah.
So you only moved over.
Oops.
Oh, there he is.
Hello.
Whoa! Yay, internet cutting out.
I am now completely at a waste. Josh is me. Oh, okay.
I have returned.
So you can tell us how long Goliaths live.
Oh. Ooh.
I'm trying to find it right now.
Yeah, that's where we were at, and then you immediately dropped out.
you didn't like
What I
that
found
question.
says that they live comparable to humans, adulthood in their late teens, and usually live less than a century.
Thanks, I was ready as you said it. I was close.
Okay.
But
Oh, welcome, Tom.
humans are also live less than a century. Tieflings live a little bit longer than humans, but otherwise mature at the same rate.
Nice.
So, yes, Justin, to answer your question, I don't know distinctly the passage of time, how she feels about that. But, the concept of, like, how much time you've put into something is definitely different, I think. Even Throden having trained for 10 years, she's probably like, wow, that's not really a lot of time. Because that's 1% of her possible life. She could spend so much more time training.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Good answer. Good answer.
I was gonna say, like, at least in my head, like, the whole elves living, like, forever thing. Because, like, they mature at the same rate as humans, but then after that, they kind of just, like, really slow down.
Yeah.
Because, like, being, like, a full adult at 100, like, they're still, like, as mature as, like, an 18 or 20-year-old human. It's just that they have so much more experience at that point, where, like, all right, they've lived at least a decent life for an elf. Like, it's that kind of like that interracial recognition kind of thing, rather than like a maturity.
I feel like the concept of elves being children until 100 makes so much more sense. Once you become an adult and, like, you have to live on your own and do your own stuff, you're like, I'm not an adult. Why are you making me do this? Like, let me wait until I'm 100. Give me more time to be a child.
Yeah, but if they don't become an adult until 100, imagine how long puberty is.
No.
Ooh, it's still only like 2 or 3
No one
years.
talks about the elfin awkward stage that is also eternity.
Well, gotta build a character now.
A teenage elf whose voice cracks, but they're like 50 years old.
God, I'm only 57. I know how to add.
Or did they know, like, all the normal math? They're like, I only know how to take integrals. Like, I don't know magical tri-century something. Like, I'm so dumb. Like, this extra math that they learn later.
I only know 6 languages. By the time I'm 100, I'll learn at least 8.
It's
Everyone
just
tells me I'm slow for my grade. I'm a little behind.
It's just a phase, Mom, is them listening to the same band for 3 decades.
Who all still make
like,
music because it's elven music.
I only got into them, like, 16 years ago, like, I'm not even a real fan yet.
I'm gonna celebrate my 25-year anniversary by going to one of their concerts finally. What are you saying, Josh?
This is why we should just play Aarakocra. Like, puberty's a week. It's fine.
They look
One and
like
done.
only a couple of years.
Yeah, they're like fully adults at age 3, and then they have another
Yeah.
27 years.
Yeah. I have a 12-year-old 20th level warlock because he's an Aarakocra.
That's a bad friendship. Elves and Aarakocra can't be friends.
No. Oh my god. That's a nightmare.
Like an elf who like, you know when you go through that phase of just like a couple of days you just don't want to talk to anybody. You just want to like live by yourself and just be in the moment, and then like you come back and your Aarakocra friend's gone.
God dang it.
It's like being friends with Gorgon.
Is he gonna make it in time to say maybe goodbye to his mom?
He gonna get off the boat.
And then mom dies, yeah.
Man, mom's really living more than you are.
Gorgon's got 2 weeks, she's got like 12 seconds.
Alright, we got 2 rounds.
No, she has 12 weeks. Gorgon has 12 seconds.
This is how friend and family work.
Does anyone have other questions or topics?
Yes.
Oh,
Session 27.
Oh god.
No, we're going way far back.
This, mainly because I clearly don't have it written down in my notes.
Familiar mistrust, yeah.
The figures in the cave, were they Gal's group, or were they just randos? The petrified statues.
Petrified statues? No, they were people who had wandered in like over time. Some people were killed and fed to the basilisk, some people were turned to stone. It kind of just depended on how the fight went, but the one was Gal's brother. Like, they were the most recent people in the cave at that point.
And they had frozen in place like that, or did like the Minotaur move them there?
Minotaur moved them.
Okay. That'd be pretty
He
weird.
made the little statue room.
An additional question onto that. Had the party not called Dad, and Zenny was left as a statue, and we all got to meet definitely not a backup character, would we have found Zenny in that room later?
Well, the Minotaur would have had to move you.
Yeah. If they left Zenny.
They left Zenny? Well, you killed the Minotaur at that point.
Fair. Very fair. It would be the Minotaur's movie. So Zenny was totally safe. We could have left her, and you guys could have met a fun new character.
Until we eventually found out how to unpetrify.
The gargoyles were still in the cave. I don't know what would have happened if you just were left there. If they like went looking for the Minotaur or something.
Was Zenny in danger of being smashed?
I don't think so.
dear God.
Okay, cool.
I did have stats for petrified Zenny form. Should anything happen?
Rock Zenny.
Great.
Rock Zenny.
How hardcore.
Oh,
Would Tom, if we had left Zenny in the cave, I was about to say cage, if we had left her there as the statue, would she have been, like, would Emot and everyone had, like, gone to get her and bring her back and, like, be unpetrified with the rest of them?
No, I think between like your relationship with the council, they would have sent someone to go get Zenny and the others. Like,
Okay.
because Gal and his brother are citizens of the boat, right? So like, getting back their own through whatever means probably would have been probable. Like I wasn't worried about Scenaria just being stuck there forever.
And like actually being dead.
Yeah, when I was gonna throw something with petrification at you guys, I wanted to make sure there were ways to get out of it. Like I had Mary like come up with like a second character, like just in case it took you guys too long.
Mm-hmm.
So also about that, Achaidh, did you anticipate us just smashing all the basilisk eggs? Or most of them?
Yeah.
If we hadn't, is there a situation where we would have run into someone who just had a horde of basilisks?
Person, no. But I think someone said it. I think Gal said it to you guys. But like, basilisk eggs, go for like a high price on like underground markets.
Again, and it would have been interesting to meet that other guy.
That was Alex realizing that he might have undersold his basilisk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, the only reason why I picked it up is because I was actually kind of considering,
How to train a
actually
dragon?
putting up. No, I was actually considering putting a basilisk egg under Emit's bed. But like, then I thought, nah, that's out of Gorgon's character. So
Bruh.
I just held on to it for a little bit, and I just wanted to get rid of it.
Yikes.
Bruh. That is like the top of the how to start combat in the party list. Dude.
It's definitely entertaining. That definitely would have been a good session.
Yikes. It only took me 2 turns to kill you at 5th level.
In case anyone's still wondering, I do have all of my notes about how to train your basilisk.
Good to know.
Edelweiss still has one, right?
Edelweiss still has it, yeah.
Fuck.
I thought I remember thinking to myself when Edelweiss had his like little moment, if Edelweiss wanted to go to his own room to like comfort the basilisk egg, I thought it would have been funny if Gorgon went to his own room and did the same thing to his, but he already sold it by that point.
Big yikes.
Oh, it would have been like Pokemon. We could have had our basilisk fight.
No.
The first one to blink win.
We go for morning jogs so that way the eggs hatch faster.
Actually, what happens if 2 basilisks look at each other? Are they immune to their own effects, or?
No.
I think so.
I don't
They
think they
are.
are. I think like if basilisk looks at itself in a reflection, it targets itself with its gaze.
Oh, so like 2 basilisks staring at each other could in fact like freeze themselves or petrify.
Oh, so they like weeping angels? That's a reference that you don't understand if you don't watch Doctor Who.
I knew it was a Doctor
I
Who
think
reference. I just
so.
don't know their rules necessarily.
I think that makes sense, that a basilisk can freeze another basilisk. If 2 basilisks are staring at each other head on, they will petrify each other.
Tom, for clarification, weeping angels, they have red light, green light rules.
Yeah.
Yes, sounds right.
They cannot move if something is looking at them.
But on the basilisk stat block, if the basilisk sees its reflection within 30 feet of it in bright light, it mistakes itself for a rival and targets itself with its gaze.
Oh, so
So they would actually intentionally.
Tell me
Phrase
you
it
have a
correctly.
low intelligence without telling me you have a low intelligence. Basilisks.
Eats
Nine.
rock. Eats rock.
Who would like to guess a basilisk intelligence?
Is it higher than Edelweiss's?
No.
Okay.
No.
that's cool.
I'm gonna guess a 7.
I'm gonna guess 5.
Wait.
Yeah, 5 feels right.
Is Nib dumber than a basilisk?
I forget what Nibs. Okay, so we have a 7, 2 5s, a 3. Riley, are you putting in a number here?
Let's go with 1.
Well,
This is just that's like a Price is Right thing. You just try and shortchange everybody else like with the lowest value.
No, no,
it's-
she could win.
it's a tie between her and Justin. It's 2.
Okay.
Good old
Yikes.
-4.
Christ.
-4!
Oh, Edelweiss is gonna have difficulty. Oh, that's gonna be a bad one. Yeah, Mr.
Really?
-1
That-
over here.
That information is what makes you think it's a bad idea.
Yeah, well, I mean, I have a plan.
I have a plan. It's fine. I'm just gonna raise this monstrosity that can turn me to stone by
Yeah.
looking at me.
Yeah.
If it weren't so dumb, this would be a great plan.
Well, now I'm realizing we're both dumb. So
When the
Edelweiss
party,
doesn't know that.
yeah.
when the party finds out about this,
Yeah.
Zeddy is so convinced that Edelweiss is so, like, wise, and he totally knows what he's doing. And this is, like, such a horrifically unhinged decision, it's not gonna compute.
Wise and smart are two totally different things here. Edelweiss is a Chad.
Don't say that! Den is a Chad! Edelweiss!
Edelweiss is like your really, really wise, like, mentor or, like, grandfather who, like, does not understand a single thing from, like, the last 30 years.
But man,
and
does he
seems
have-
like an idiot.
He has good life advice, though.
He has great life advice.
I imagine that Edelweiss is like that roommate that you go to for all of your problems, but they keep getting ants because they don't know how to seal their food. Like
That's very specific.
they like can't
That's
figure
so
it out.
specific
That's very
and very accurate.
Specific
Justin, do
from
you
the
want to tell us a
computer.
story after this?
Guys, I commuted. My roommate is my wallpaper. Like
Darth Vader.
You don't have wallpaper.
exactly.
Your roommate is Darth Vader.
It's actually this Winterfell banner that I need to take down because, you know, Game of Thrones. But yeah, it's all right. I think the basilisk will be fine.
Well, I'm glad you think so, Justin.
Yeah, I think the basilisk will be fine. Is Edelweiss gonna be
Everyone
fine?
else.
See, this is why I don't say things because Riley and I are dating, because she knows why I'm leaving out certain words.
I'll take yikes for 200, please.
It's the daily double.
I think the best part of the plan, though, is that Edelweiss is the person most likely to get, like, you know, the ability to unpetrify someone.
Exactly. He has a plan.
I mean,
He.
This is why he
We'll
makes
see what
sure that
level-
he has as many revivifies as possible. Throwing he fucks up.
Yeah.
I'm the only one that could cast it.
I mean, we'll see what level Throden's at when if on the edges.
It's greater restoration, and we had to give them so much money because it consumes
Yeah, like 1,000 gold piece diamond or something.
100.
100? Oh, is it only 100?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's not so
fantastic. We can do this
Yeah,
3
Broden
times.
can't cast that until level 17.
Oh yeah.
If it's even on his list, I'm
Fair.
not sure. But,
I think it is.
Lesser, so I assume greater.
Yeah, that sounds right. Well,
I might be able to get to it. I don't remember.
Oh well, I think
just
if you get to it, it'd be at the same pace that Throden does.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say like it really matters like who can get there first.
Which is
Edelweiss.
Edelweiss.
Level 9.
I think Missy has axe. Maybe not. And Gordon's just not gonna take it.
Nope.
Let's all be real.
If Missy was a divine soul, I think she gets it.
Because Sorcerer is like, hey, you're DPS, just so you know.
Yeah. I think. I don't really know how sorcerers work in terms of their spell lists.
Sorcerer are
Not great.
They are a canonical glass cannon.
Yeah. Maybe there's like a wild surge that causes a greater restoration effect.
Maybe.
I don't think we can really rely on that though.
No.
Nope.
The wild surge frustrates me because it happens so little. That bothers me about that core class.
I know, I want Missy to sneeze more.
I want fun things to happen. I want Farragut tail and to flick and teleport. I want that again. Oh my god, I forgot that happened. You had an appendable tail. Like, I want everyone to have weird stuff happening. That's so much more fun.
I just
The
want
wild.
someone to turn into a potted plant.
We could do that in our other campaign too.
It's fun.
In the theme of abilities and spells that you get, I'd want to ask a general D&D question, if that is applicable for Crobatalks.
Unacceptable!
I want to ask everyone's favorite class and/or race in 5th edition.
Oh, are we talking about our favorite races?
For funsies. Yeah.
Hey, no wait, no.
There it is.
In this fictional game.
I can tell you my
Humans,
least.
duh.
I can tell
Okay,
you my
but
least
human
favorite.
variant.
Human variant is really good for no reason.
Human variant's really good.
Human variant's great when you just take the actor feat.
I think I mean this unironically and for specific reasons, because I know Josh and Tom are gonna groan at me when I say this.
Oh no.
But my favorite race, it honestly has to be a Kenku.
I won't grow too.
I think because I feel like it's a really interesting thing when you look into the lore behind them, and you find that they're like a very driven like race, and you know, you find that like they always have this really sense of determination. Like lore wise, their determination is to one day be able to fly like they used to be able to. But you know, their whole race is cursed with a number of ailments, such as not being able to speak properly, not being able to fly like the Aarakocra. But despite that, you know, they are driven to try and accomplish their goals regardless, even if it drives them to do zany things. And I think with that type of mindset in mind, it opens the door for a lot of like fairly interesting, like, you know, stories to be told there. But yeah.
Yes, I mean, I won't groan. Kenku were very interesting, and their flavor and their mechanics, I think.
Mm-hmm. It's just hard to play them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And my
One
first
day, Doc will be able to talk, don't worry.
Yeah. I thought it would be a good idea to make my first official character that I played was a Kenku, and Doc, being the very kind DM that he is, allowed me to, as well as making my own subclass for rogues. So, thank you again for that, Josh.
I only regret it like every session, so it's fine.
Aw.
For me, I guess like a favorite race might be kobolds or maybe dwarves. I like underground people. It's fun.
All right, we did the right side of the board. Who wants to go next?
I mean, I don't have a ton of like I just scrolled through all like a list of races and stuff so that like I could remember what they all are. But like I don't have a ton of experience with D&D, so like I tend to say that my favorites are the ones that I've played.
That's right.
So I really like elves and tieflings.
That's fair.
I feel like what are the ones? Is it an elf variant like the elementals? There's like the seasons.
Eladrin.
Oh, yeah.
Eladrin.
Eladrin.
Yeah.
Those seem really cool to me. I can't tell you why, they just look cool.
They're
You're
seasonal elves. They are really cool.
Well, they're also from the
They're-
Feywild.
They're the
At least, like-
they're the Feywild equivalent to Shadowkai, basically.
Yes.
Yeah. I'll give a little bit of backstory. I guess I sort of have a reason as to why I like elves, but I picture elves because I was in the middle of reading the Aragon series when I first started playing D&D. And so elves in D&D and like the character that I created for my first character who's an elf, like I really modeled her after that sort of elf in like the Aragon world because I just love them. Like Mary uses I think like Skyrim elves as her base, and wood elves like in general are like supposed to be more savage and like rough and whatever, but elves to me from Aragon are so like recluse and like kind of snobby, and like they live in the trees and like they sing to like all of their spells are songs, and like they sing to the trees to like make them grow into like houses and shops for them, and like it's just like their whole world is just fucking gorgeous. And like nobody has heard from them for hundreds of years because they've literally just like after the war they like locked themselves into the woods and no one can find them. So that's why I really like elves, because I've just transplanted Aragon elves onto the whole race. But yeah.
That's very interesting.
And tieflings are spooky and I like spooky things. That
Also
one's very
interesting.
self-explanatory.
You know, same.
I guess I gotta go.
Oh, bye.
Yeah, that's what. At first, that's what I thought you meant.
I don't really think about my favorite race a lot, just because it's fun to just mess around with what you can do with all of them. Currently, I think Warforged are my favorites. Like, I just think the way that you can set an origin for a Warforged is so much different from all of the other races, because, for example, like Kenku, they have a whole bunch of lore behind them, or Elves, they have bases in different parts of fantasy or something like that, but Warforged are like the robot race that became sentient. And you can choose to go a whole bunch of different routes with that, in terms of like what they were built for, how well they respond to, you know, that programming that they were built with, or if they went on to do their own thing. And so I think they give you equal, if not a little more flexibility than you would get with like a human. Because like humans, you can kind of give it any sort of past you want, but I think that Warforged give you the opportunity to do that same thing, and then also build in the idea of like what a robot would be able to do, how this creature changes itself based on what it's supposed to be designed for versus what it actually chooses to do, and I think that's really fun. standard computer science kid, you know.
Oh my god, okay, so I don't know if anyone except for Mary and Justin are about to understand what I'm talking about. But there's a band called Steam Powered Draft, and they're real life bands, and like they're people who like their whole shtick is that they're animatronics, and their backstory is that like their creator had like built them like for the war, for like I think like World War One. I think
It was a war against like giant mechanical elephants. I think.
Sure.
They say it in.
I don't remember World War One, but that sounds accurate.
But I don't think it was like that.
But yeah, like the creator made them for a war, and then like after the war, they were like, "Well, what are we gonna do with them?" And so he taught them to sing, and they play instruments, and now they're a band, and they've been banned for like 60 years, quote unquote. These people are like probably in their 30s. Oliver.
Oliver, how would you rat?
Oliver's talking back.
Oliver's
But anyway, you could totally make Steam Powered Draft in a D&D campaign by just making Warforged bards.
100%.
I'm sure it's been done.
I love
That's also
them.
a great idea.
That's an incredible idea. It's canonical. They're a band somewhere.
I know Mary posed the question, so did you want me to go first, or did you want to...
I don't care. Have you thought of some?
Yeah, sort of.
Go ahead.
I've had a little bit of time too. So I think my favorite race is actually Eladrin, and not the one that's in, I think it's DMG, because I think it's, yes, there's two versions of Eladrin.
Yeah.
Because one is just like from the Feywild, and the other one is the seasonal one. I'm trying to remember which book the seasonal one is. So
it's in Mordenkainen's.
Oh, is it?
I think it's in Mordenkainen's, because Mordenkainen's is where the more final Shadar Kai is.
Yeah, maybe that. Yeah, but
I think.
I like the idea of Eladrin's face step, and it like has an effect. So not only do you get this like free teleport once per long or short rest, I don't remember, but it also has an effect. So like my one-shot character is Winter Eladrin Ranger Rogue. So like he could get up close to someone and then teleport away. But yeah, so that's why I like Eladrin. I also like Dragonborn, but like I feel like Dragonborn are almost like overplayed as far as like what new players I think pick. So like I didn't want to pick like something like everyone picked. And then my first character was a dwarf. Half because I was told to be a dwarf.
Yeah! I was gonna say, it's not totally your fault, because we're going to a mine.
I've never really thought of Dragonborn as overplayed, I guess. I always hear like that just, human is the typical go-to.
Yeah. I personally also think Dragonborn is overplayed, so I just went with the human fighter.
I think Dragonborn can seem common, but that doesn't take anything away from them.
No, it
Because
doesn't.
I think Dragonborn is one of my favorite races too. I really like Dragonborn. I really like Tieflings. And definitely Orcs. Orcs, 100% Orcs. Aasimar and Shadar Kai are probably my top three. Partially, specifically Orcs and Aasimar, it's for like the lore I built for them in my world, because I've put probably the most work into their lore and into their religions and how they work. But for all three of them, like the conversation of like, is this person a monster is one of my like favorite things to explore in characters, and I think those 3 races lend themselves to that very well.
Yeah, that's something interesting to explore.
Yeah. It's probably like my favorite idea to look at in characters. I do it in all of my characters.
What was that?
The concept of, is this person a monster? Fun thing to explore. So that's why I like those weird monster races. Even though Aesir is not really a monster, but it kind of is.
Also, Fallen Aesir a little bit.
I like my my completely angelic Aesir having that question. Also, Shadow Kai are metal as heck, and it's awesome.
To update Justin, I picked Eladrin, and then Mary picked like half the things.
Shadow Kai, Aesir, and orcs.
Oh, so everything.
Oh, so
Except Aarakocra.
Except that one Aarakocra, who's a monster. He is a monster. Period. End of story. And he's happy about that. He has answered the question.
Also, isn't your Aarakocra like part Aesir?
He's a fallen Aesir. Yeah, he is.
Well,
He's a fiend warlock. Aarakocra fallen Aesir. He doesn't believe in gender. He just believes he's a monster. I love him.
So, Mary's original question was class, and then also race, and we all answered race.
Race is
No,
kind
This is
of
harder.
we got to do a round robin again, I guess.
we can go through and do class.
Actually, I have a question for Melika, and it would be for Mare if she was here too. But like, how did you? You said that your tieflings aren't actually full-blooded tieflings. You were actually like half human. Where did you guys like actually come up with that? Was that just like an in-depth conversation, or was it just like it was cool?
Yeah, well, we were coming up with like our family and our backstory, and I can't remember why we decided to make one of our parents human. We might have just rolled it. But one of our parents, sorry, I'm reading Justin's messages. But yeah, our dad is a tiefling and our mom is human. And so that's why all of us are half of both. Duh. But yeah, I don't remember exactly what the reasoning was behind that, or if we just rolled it.
Gotcha.
It's definitely fun. I like people playing with half classes, or half races rather.
Yeah, the idea of a half race other than a half elf.
Or half orc, or halfling.
Or we have descriptions.
Something.
We have descriptions of all of our siblings, and like which ones present more as tieflings and which ones present more as humans. And like the ones that present as humans, like one of them has like little tiny nubs as like horns. One of them has maybe a tail. I don't remember. But yeah, we have like a list of what small characteristics each of our siblings has.
I think you guys, you told us about that at one point. That, or like there was a description about it when we were doing the like.
I think it was
sequences.
a trial.
Yeah, in the trials.
Yeah.
We've got little snippets of the tiefling siblings.
I like both the not really weird, both of the like slightly weird things about the tieflings. I forget what the splotchy skin thing is called.
Vitiligo.
Yeah, that. Which I feel like could be because it's human skin, also trying to make it appear.
Oh, true.
I don't know if that was the intent, but that's what I assumed it was.
That was
initially.
totally part of the backstory.
Cool, yeah, I like it. And
Especially because they're lavender skin tieflings, so it's a little
it's-
closer to like pinkish skin color.
it's so light.
Yeah.
Also, Missy has a kink in her tail, which is, yeah. Go look at the art of Missy. Her tail, like, it turns. She has a kink. It's really cute.
Yes, I had to incorporate that into the mini when I got you guys minis.
Oh.
Very important.
Amazing. So, my favorite class is a bard.
Wow, who knew?
Shocking. I've
Um,
just been hit by a shocking grasp, guys.
but it's
Can't
not
even
a
react.
charisma thing. It's because I tend to play the support in every game ever. But I like to play the crowd control DPS support, and the only class that fulfills that in D&D is Bard. So I get to live out all of my video game fantasies. Being charismatic is just a side. If we want to go subclasses, it's actually, I think it's the rogue's soul knife, just because I think that that's really fun. Or if it's not the soul knife, it's the phantom, the guy that collects coins. They're both Tasha classes.
Cool. I think they're jars with souls in them.
It's
I know exactly what you're talking about.
yeah, Phantom Rogue.
Mm-hmm.
Tokens of
They're-
the Departed.
They're based on Shatterkai.
Yeah. I think that those two subclasses, really cool. The vibes that you can get from them are really fun.
Yeah, if
I
we're
don't like the
talking-
Bard subclasses.
If we're talking subclasses, can I tell you about a level 2 divination wizard?
Yeah.
It's
I
really
think we got real
important.
well, guys, let me tell you.
I love divination wizards. They're unnecessarily good.
That's why I multi-class to do it.
I
remember that process. You were going through all these different ones, and you did settle on that. I think I pushed you towards it. 'Cause I was like, trust me, Tom. It's fun. You're gonna have fun with it.
Well, yes, divination was the fun route, and then
Yeah.
the more practical route was either evocation or what was it called? War something?
War
Wizard?
Caster.
Or the Warcaster?
War Mage? War Mage.
War
I
Mage.
think it's
War
War
Mage,
Mage.
yeah.
Because War
From
Caster's the
Xanathars.
feat.
Yeah,
Is the
Warcaster's
feat,
the
yeah.
feat.
Mm.
War Mage.
I do like Blade Singers.
I didn't have Blade
Blade
Singer as an option at the time.
Bladesinger and Warcaster both struggle if you multi-class from a martial class. Because it's like, here are attack options that have nothing to do with actual combat skills.
Yeah.
Like your strength and constitution have nothing to do with it. You can't multi-class from a martial class because you just don't have the stats for it.
Druid.
I actually cobbled together a pseudo Blade Singer with a sorcerer in Alex's campaign.
Shadowblade.
Shadowblade, yes.
Shadowblade. Riley knows what's up with Shadowblade, I think. I think you have Shadowblade.
Yeah, he's actually a kobold draconic sorcerer, so it helps.
That
The
makes a
lack
lot
of
of sense.
sunlight in hell also helps.
There's a
my
way.
favorite. Oh, she is good. I think one of my favorite classes is Artificer. And now that I think about it, I want to make a Warforged Artificer.
Can
Um,
repair.
Not just to repair himself. Like it's a story I think I'd like to develop.
Are you gonna go with the artificer that makes a defender?
Something. I was thinking of something
gonna be
along
my
the lines
question.
of that. Yeah.
He'd be an artificer that builds a friend.
Yeah. It was something along the lines of that.
That's really
Yeah.
adorable.
Yeah. As far as
Just Sorry, go ahead.
no, you can go.
I was gonna say, I'm reminded of that Next Generation episode of Star Trek where Data builds a daughter.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what was coming to mind for me. But yeah, and as far as subclasses go, I'm not sure if I'm cheating by saying homebrew, but I think I really like the doctor class that Josh and I developed. Specifically, because I feel like in D&D, I feel like it's kind of weird how like we do have magic to heal other people, but there's no physical way to do it for those that don't have that prowess or aren't born with it. And I think it's interesting to have a way to heal somebody through non-magical means, like, you know, and I like specifically how that comes into play is my character is someone who grew up in the slums and wasn't lucky enough to be born with magic. Didn't really grow up near a church or anything like that. He was always on the move and couldn't afford a proper schooling. So rather, you know, it probably would have been cheaper to practice medicine directly rather than casting, you know, what's that one touch spell that you can get a level 1? Cure wounds. There we go. Yeah. So
You physically cure the wound.
yeah.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice to know your doctor never had proper schooling.
Hey,
Honestly, that's like one thing I really brushed over his character, and I don't think Josh and I ever actually talked about it, Tom. But we never talked about what schooling Doc actually got.
I always has to see his degree, just saying.
I would assume he got some kind of schooling. Maybe he just read a couple books.
But just remember, in every graduating class of doctors, someone did the worst and still graduated.
Very fair.
There is definitely a C's Get Degrees person in every graduating class of doctors.
Yikes. Maybe it was Doctor.
I think for me, my favorite class might be Warlock. It's a very fun class. It's kind of got some unique feel to it mechanically.
A lot of customization.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and it's nice to be able to, with all the different invocations and such, sort of build things totally differently. And yeah, they not just to have different subclasses, but also the different packs makes things, even more customizable. So that's nice.
I feel very similarly that I really like the options you have with Warlock. But I'm very basic, and I think my favorite class is Barbarian.
That's fair.
I like to hit things. I'm here to hit things.
Do you have like a favorite Barbarian subclass? For me, it'd be Wild Magic.
I'm not familiar enough with. I knocked my camera. I'm not familiar enough with the Wild Magic, although I do want to look at it. I only know. I think the UA version that they use in the Adventure Zone in Graduation, but I think as much as I love Totem Warrior. I think Ancestral Guardian might be my favorite for flavor reasons. Yes, Justin. Tarbahome is the perfect character. He is. You're right. Thanks for making that face.
I have said no words.
It's partially because I like the idea of like the way the tribalism of barbarians like can call these almost like Native American like this is such a bastardization of culture, but like the way Brother Bear calls like the animal spirits, I think that's really cool. And I like that idea in barbarian culture. And also that subclass is a strong subclass. It lets your barbarian pass their own protection onto others, which is that's nice. You okay, Babs? What you doing over there, bud?
He's worried about all brands being shown. have you seen him drink out of his can? I can't even tell what it is because he's literally like.
No free promos.
Meanwhile, I'm like... Wait, can you see it from here? You can sort of see the... Ooh, there it is. You can't really make it out, but there is an empty, unopened Vanilla Coke Zero can over there. And it's always there. It's empty.
Unopened.
It's empty and unopened. We got it as a fluke.
You just got an empty Coke bottle?
Yeah. My mom likes Vanilla Coke Zero, and she just found one, and it was like really light compared to the other ones. And
Strange.
yeah, it's just empty. It's unopened.
That's awesome.
Well, are
Yeah.
you sure it's empty? Have you checked?
Yeah. Go open up real quick.
Well,
I mean, there's only one way to know.
It's exclusive
let's
on
see.
stream.
Wait,
I have an empty Dr. Pepper soda can right here, and I have the can in question. Not sponsored, by the way, but they both weigh about the same.
yeah, but how do we know?
Yeah, I'm
You
not
need
really sure
visual
about
proof.
What if you're just
I
really
trust you,
strong on
Alex.
one
Yeah,
hand?
prove none.
I was about to say I will drive down to Maryland if you really want to do this.
Show all of us.
If you don't believe me, you can
But-
ask Tom how
but-
petty I can be.
But Alex, I need you to pick up everyone else on the way.
I will make this a road trip, and we'll get everybody, and we'll all meet up. I'll stop at Josh's house first, and I'll go ahead and pick everybody up.
No, don't bother
Alright.
Josh. You
I
have to
think
go north first
Mare's
and then
the-
come back
Mare's
down
the-
and pick them up.
Well, I was thinking Mare's the farthest north, right? So I'll go down, hook around, and then go pick everybody else up, right?
You can all stay at my house. Hashtag.
Okay, so I'm going down to Maryland.
All my
picking up
space.
Mary. Picking up Mary, then Tom, going up to get everybody else, coming back down to Mary's house, and we're all staying at Mary's house. To which point, I then take everybody else, including Mary, to drop them all off home before finally taking Mary home, and then going home myself. Is that how we're doing this?
That sounds right.
I'm game. I'm
You got the
game.
part where you die of exhaustion on the way back, but yeah.
You forgot
I mean,
about
as
the
long
whole
as
part
you're
where you're
paying
gonna
for the
stream
toll.
the entire thing.
My parents pay for my Easy Pass. It's fine.
Okay, we're good. No issues.
Yeah.
Oh, let's take a turn.
There we go.
Where were we? Classes?
Yeah.
Classes and
I really
subclasses.
liked Astronomy 101.
Riley's favorite class is upper middle.
What a look.
Riley, between the 3 classes you've played,
No, she's played.
Rogue, Sorcerer,
No, he has 3
Barbarian?
classes.
Rogue, Sorcerer, Barbarian, right?
Barbarian.
Yeah.
Those are my only 3 characters.
Do you like to hit things, stab things, or blow things up? Or scare people
Fair
with
question.
shadow magic?
My barbarian's actually pretty cool. But I've only played her like twice. I think she's also tiefling. Yeah. Sorry, I was thinking about races.
We
but I think
had matching trans tieflings for that one shot.
we did. I feel like Sorcerer is probably, like, it feels really basic, but I do really like them because it fulfills all of my desires of wanting to be able to do magic.
Yeah,
And
mathematics
Farron's so
fun.
spooky. I love my Shadow Sorcerer.
Sorcerer does give me a lot of Jafar vibes.
She doesn't know what she wants. She's trying.
Is it weird knowing Shadow Sorcerer and then having a Shadow Sorcerer villain?
Yeah. I wanted to be really sympathetic towards him. But, like, he was a jerk.
Yeah,
I
he
would
was a
point
jerk.
out, I think you guys bothered him first.
Alright. I'm sorry.
no,
He tried to
no.
rescue his prisoners. He had been prisoner, and we went in there to make sure they were alive.
He gave us mean eyes.
Yeah,
I mean,
now,
just made
now
the best
Mary has
argument
mean
of us
eyes.
all.
Riley has mean eyes. Characters. It's an area.
I was like, you guys are fine.
Farron has mean eye.
So
But,
that mean eyes are just a shadow sorcerer thing then.
Pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough.
Well, Farron's eyes are also silver, so they're kind of terrifying on their own.
Oh yeah.
I can't
Guys, I
say
love
I've
Farron.
looked into Farron's eyes. But so fun fact about the Shadow Sorcerer, those weren't his prisoners.
What?
No, officers, I'm just holding these prisoners for a friend.
Was he just hanging?
Yeah.
He was just hanging on to him for the doppelgangers.
Hmm.
Were the doppelgangers and the shadow sorcerers in league with each other, or like?
Conveniently.
It was more or the doppelgangers were working for the Shadow Sorcerer. They took prisoners, and he was like, "Fine, I'll watch them."
Oh, okay. All right. That's. So it's like, are they working together, or is this like a criminal underground that we are unaware of? Tom, I'm gonna just as a side note, I have been working on criminal underbellies in my D&D world a lot recently, and I cannot wait to get involved in yours.
Like, join it, or
I mean, what else would a lawful neutral character do?
Edelweiss stepping up to the party with a basilisk on a chain. Like, good talk, I am the cleric!
Steinfresser is going to be so cool. I even
I'll
gave him a
take
name and
yikes
everything.
for 600, please.
The other daily double.
Not a yikes tonight.
Yeah, you didn't know we're in double jeopardy already.
Oh no.
so I think my favorite class. I haven't actually played it,
Yeah,
but I think I really like Paladin.
been there.
Oh, Paladin is pretty fun.
Cause like my goal whenever I'm playing like RPGs and stuff is self-sustaining tank. So like Paladin can heal themselves. And World of Warcraft I played at Death Knight, and they have a lot of I'm just gonna heal myself by dealing damage. So like a lot of the times whenever I'm playing an RPG, it's alright, can I play something that hits hard and then also heals? And then if I can, also has magic, but that's not always possible.
It's
So like a little bit of a jack of all trades, master of none.
So
Bard would be my second pick.
yeah, I was just about to say that's just a palabard. Like, just a multi-class paladin bard is everything you want.
Bardadin.
A
Barded
bard that's
in.
pal.
Bardadin might be my next one-shot character.
You might as well, just for the heck of it.
Could be fun.
Who hasn't gone yet? For class.
I think that's everybody.
Yeah. I can
Mare?
say a subclass. And Mare can't go because she is not here.
I have everybody's answer. I'm taking notes for some reason.
I stopped. I had to stop myself.
I need to
have
pay
some notes.
attention.
I mean, Josh was taking notes before we even started
Yeah.
streaming, so
Yeah, but those
For
aren't
once,
good
my
notes.
laziness has come in handy.
Those notes make me sad.
I can't. You can't hand me things if I'm thinking. Just won't work.
Well,
I'm
Josh,
taking note of this.
since I'm not naming the episode, should I reveal what the episode title is going to be?
I mean, I don't see why not.
That was a hint, guys.
Oh no.
Did you mean it to be a hint?
Let's go with yes. It makes me seem smarter than I am.
So, this is also Josh's first note, by the way. When he said he had, like, however many notes. So the title of this, like, arc of, like, going to Art is, An Urge to Not.
oh,
There it is.
A plus.
I hate it. It's so
I
bad.
think Riley is staring into a fire now because of that.
My only regret
I'm
about
checking the
this reveal
status of
is that
my
there's
Amazon
you.
orders.
He's like
My
the glow.
phone's just on night mode.
It's the perfect candle flare.
I don't get it.
Yes, you
Like, boats travel at a speed called knots.
Okay, but also it's Gorgon's
also
last,
Gorgon's last
name.
Yes.
Urgonaut, Urge to Not.
Oh, and then I also don't want to go.
So it's
Yep.
not.
Oh.
Yeah.
It worked on some.
Wow, there's a lot of layers to this.
Yeah.
I don't like
I,
that.
I was really proud of this.
How are
Yeah.
you spelling it?
N-A-U-T.
Cool.
What was that for the notes?
I almost said no. That's Gordon's last name.
Accidentally reveals Doc's last name.
Haven't you heard Doc's last name?
I don't
Yeah,
think I have. I think
Brian.
Brian has.
Brian. I thought Brian asked what my last name was, or what my full name was.
I don't remember getting it.
Oh, okay.
Doc,
well.
MD, Tor.
It is funny. So, Doctor's name is a play on words of his actual name because he grew up in the slums, so it kind of just got messed up into Doctor. So, but yeah, and he can't say his original name, so just became
Sucks.
yeah. So anytime he introduces himself, he just calls himself Doctor.
He's like,
Because he can't say his actual name. Brian knows his name. He could totally cure him of this, but just refuses to.
That's fine.
He will not say Doctor's real name.
Well, that's in
fine.
character for Brian.
Simple.
No, that's just Brian.
Yeah, that's in
That's not
character
even his
for Brian.
character. That's Brian.
I know what
That's
I
a lot
said.
of power.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
it's Brian's
okay.
character.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. One day, Doctor hopes to say his name again.
Nah.
Nah.
I have a question for everyone, player-wise.
Okay.
After having played for a couple of levels so far, is there any part of you that regrets the class that you chose, or is there any point where you're like, man, I wish this was a different class instead?
I was actually going to ask something similar to that at some point, so that's cool, Justin. I don't know about regret necessarily, but I do know that I've often thought about one of these other character ideas that I had, which would have been a warlock, actually. probably like a halfling warlock. And the reason why I often thought on this was because one of the Eldritch invocations I would take would be a Devil Sight. So every fight with the Shadow Sorcerer, I would have been able to see everything.
Yeah. It wouldn't have been a fight for you.
Yeah.
Dang.
And also that because of how like planar shifting and planes intermingling to some degree was like an aspect of that character's backstory, would have fit surprisingly well with the Tom's campaign.
For sure.
I wish I'd asked, like, would this thing fit with it? Because I thought, nah, this is weird. Probably wouldn't work with what Tom wants to do. And the second mission was, so the fire plane has converged on the materials. You need to go deal with that.
You know, I think I compared to my original idea that I had for this campaign, I think I like what Gorgon turned into. Because originally he was still supposed to be an orc professor, but he was going to be a lot more sadistic. He was going to originally be a bard working in the theater company, and he became something else. I'm still using him to a certain extent, but like the idea that I had for him was that he was a professor that was sort of chaotic evil, and would sort of, as part of the theater company, he would subtly influence with magic or in some way kind of use his students as puppeteers as puppets for his play. And so he would basically constantly manipulate people and then also use magic to get people to act exactly how he wanted to.
I guess I'm starting to take notes then.
That's interesting.
Cool character. God, would I not? I would have stopped playing in a month.
Well,
Jesus Christ! Screw that! Screw that so hard.
So considering I was like playing with new people, I immediately changed it to something that I wanted to be lawful evil, which I'm still gonna keep under wraps. And then that got vetoed, and then we completely just changed his character to Indiana Jones, but really grouchy.
So Indiana Jones.
So Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like, yeah, Harrison Ford, but I don't know. I feel like Indiana Jones has more compassion than Gorgon does. But yeah.
I think that if I had like a redo, like I love where Edelweiss is going. And like, you guys know me enough to know that there's a lot of like subcontext in my characters that reflects on me. And I'm now starting to figure out all of those things about Edelweiss, which is fantastic, just for my self-benefit.
Did you like just find out you're German or something, or?
Yeah, ich bin ein Berliner.
I hated that.
Where was I going? Oh,
I think it was something.
I just, sometimes you get caught in the dubstep of German, But I think if we had started this campaign a couple of weeks down the line, and Tom was open to it, I probably would have completely changed out Edelweiss's character, and I probably would have gone the way of Mercy Monk, which is the healer monk that heals people by punching them. Just because I think that's funny.
What I think is really funny about that is that Way of Mercy monks are always wearing a mask.
Yeah,
That
we
would
would
have
have
been interesting.
two masked characters.
Yeah, Alex?
Two masked characters, and if Josh had gone with his original character, two characters two interplanar characters.
Well,
Two
actually, I think
tieflings, and then Gorgon.
my original character was not the halfling warlock, it was like a bugbear bard.
I remember seeing that.
Also
Yeah.
fun.
Do you remember seeing that?
The bugbear
It would have
scared
been
me.
fun, but it didn't seem to fit as well with the campaign.
I don't think it would have been great having unnamed character just punching his teammates the entire time. Hey, get better.
Feel better.
Yeah. Can you imagine a
massage
character that
therapist.
hurt people, like attack them to heal them? That'd be weird.
Strange idea.
Don't you look down, Alex. Acknowledge us.
Justin, what made you think of this question, and also why do you think about Rangers that much?
I wasn't thinking about Mary. Do you regret playing a ranger? Because I think you really like rangers.
No, Rangers. It's like it's only a step up. Druid is the class I like the least, but yeah, I find Wild Shape underwhelming.
I think the toxic subclasses are better.
Both of you stop looking at me like that.
Level
but-
20 druids are unkillable.
But, okay, yeah, who has the goddamn time to get there, okay? I have to spend how long as a cat before who can't do it? I have to be a crab for how much time? You can't even be a crab. Crabs can, yeah, when can you be a wolf? It takes a while before you can be a wolf. Get out of here.
I feel like you're overlooking Circle of the Moon here.
Yeah. Oh, Circle of the
It's very
Moon really
possible.
throws it
I
out.
haven't. I need yell at me in the chat. I haven't looked at Druid a whole lot, but Ranger is very frustrating because the base, like just Ranger abilities. I never thought I was gonna use survival feelings, whatever. That thing that
Survival feelings?
the thing that costs a spell slot to find
primeval
out
awareness.
if there are maybe things nearby. I don't know where. Like,
Within a mile, yeah.
why does
Yeah.
that cost a spell slot?
Not where they are, not how many they are, just that they're there.
Just yes or no.
The best part is in your favorite terrain, it's 6 miles.
Yeah. Wow. It's not,
Why
it's
did
not-
they haphazardly add 5 miles?
It,
They
Good
couldn't be
question.
like in total
Why
it's
is it
5 miles.
doubled?
That feels right.
Yeah. Why? Why is it that distance? Also, your favorite stuff is like, yeah, it's a cool concept. It makes sense. That means I'm just sitting here like, hey Tom, is this the Underdark? And the answer is no, it's not. You can't use your thing, which is frustrating. But Gloomstalker is arguably the best subclass. So I don't regret Gloomstalker. I think it works really well for the build I wanted to do. Also, I was kind of doubting my build for a while, and then I did the Battle Royale and realized that I'm putting out a lot of damage
Yeah.
consistently. And that made me feel like 600 times better because big numbers give me happy chemicals in brain.
You're welcome.
Your barbarian is showing.
My barbarian. Is it making things awkward?
Oh god.
Let me just put that back down on my coaster.
I'm so glad you guys use those. Whoever uses
It's
it.
on my desk. It's my desk coaster. I use it every day. Tom got us matching Christmas presents. Mare would show hers if she could.
Yeah. But yeah, he got us all coasters of the classes of our characters in Mary's campaign.
In relevant colors for the characters as well, I think.
Mm.
Yeah, I guess yellow works.
I couldn't do two
Yeah.
purple ones.
Yeah.
Well, I had to think about that for a second. I was like, yeah, he has a god dad. That's fine.
It's also it's
Well, I
it's
actually-
at that point though.
I went with
No, you
the
didn't.
colors. I went with the
Oh, you
colors
didn't.
that were in the Discord.
Yeah.
Makes sense. That's probably why
Crobatalks.
Crobatalks.
About Mary's campaign.
Featuring Shadow's songs, smashing, featuring smoking,
And something.
and also something. And maybe
Also
Strezix.
Strezix.
Maybe Strezix?
This Dragonborn you've talked to twice.
Guys, Strezix was a deaf Dragonborn that Mary had me and Justin meet in like our second game, and I think he came back maybe a year later, in real time, not game time.
Yeah.
And
He's a deaf bard.
he's really great. I love him.
Hey, me too. He is a page. He is a page on the World Anvil.
Of course he does.
He does.
Really cute. It
Did
has
I
his
meet
backstory.
Strezix?
You did meet Strezix, and
met
you're
him the
like,
second
who is this guy?
Well, that's just the theme of the campaign. I meet people and I'm like, who is this?
We saw him again after you had visited, and Riley and I's characters were like, "Oh, what's up, Strezix?" Well, Riley was like, "Oh, what's up, Strezix?" I was like, "Oh!"
Yeah, could not remember who he was.
Both my character and me, and it was fun. And then Tom didn't know. It was like, "Oh yeah, introductions."
It's the theme of the campaign. I don't know any of the people that we meet.
This is true. This is very true.
I still don't know the people that I have met.
Same.
We call Kambaba. Like, hey, do you know this guy?
Hey, what's going on? Riley, I'm gonna ask you the same question, even though I'm not going to assume there is an answer. Is there any other class or subclass that you were looking at that you would have considered?
I don't know. I went with Rogue because I wanted to do something other than Sorcerer, because that's what I was used to. And my other character, my Barbarian, is something that I literally just like rolled. Like I wanted to make a completely like rolled and randomized character. So like that's where she came from. But, like this one I wanted to actually choose, and I wanted to do something different, like get away from magic. I wanted to kind of focus on like the fighting side of D&D. So I went the rogue, and sometimes it is really frustrating that like I can't like long distance fight, and like I can't just like shoot out spells. But otherwise I think I'm pretty happy with my rogue choice. And tiefling. I like tieflings. Yeah. I feel like I haven't played enough, like I haven't made enough characters to like really like regret not going with something else just because I don't know anything. So like that was why I wanted to make more like a different kind of sorcerer, so I could like start to learn other classes and what I actually like out of the game.
Let me tell you guys, I cannot wait for when we get to higher levels and Riley's sneak attack is just insane.
Oh yeah.
Because I can't wait to see her reaction when she rolls like 8d6 and she's just like...
Give me a minute.
I'm excited.
You're scout, right?
Yeah, that sounds
I think
right.
so.
Which is
It's one of the Xanathar's ones.
scout is one of the best rogue, I think.
It's a fun subclass. Good flavor.
I like Assassin.
It's a lot of movement capability.
Assassin is good. Assassin feels like Shadow Monk, where it's like, okay, what if the rest of us want to have fun? Like, come on.
And if it helps, that rogue is a tabaxi, and then also multi-class into cleric.
Mm.
Okay, you could have multiclassed into monk, because monk tabaxi is
It's
the
broken,
worst
yes.
thing to ever happen.
But apparently that party needed another healer, so I was like, okay.
May as well.
It is Trickster Cleric, though, which helps.
People.
It does help.
Soon we'll have 3 healers in that party.
Interesting. Yikes! Are you guys okay?
Descending to Avernus is pretty rough.
Okay.
You have been warned.
What's everyone's opinion? As we only have a couple minutes left, what's everyone's opinions on homebrew versus published books?
Homebrew all the way.
I personally have a mixed opinion on it. I started off with a homebrew campaign that I wrote, and I like doing it because of, like, you know, the freedom that I could get. I really enjoyed, like, coming up with all the civilizations that inhabited the world, the politics that like, you know, went with it, how the geography of a map would influence it. But at the same time, it was a lot of work to set up for each session.
At the same time, I can just read a book that tells me all that.
Yeah. And I had 2 different experiences because I had the opportunity to, you know, do 2 campaigns where, or at least play 2 campaigns, not see them to completion. But Icewind Dale versus Descent to Avernus, stark contrasts completely, because for me, Icewind Dale set everything up for you and offered a lot of freedom, not only to the players but to the DM, at least early on in the campaign, before, like, you know, the quest itself, the main quest started proper. And then there's also Descent into Avernus, which was very strict, but I felt also doesn't give you some context until later on in the book. So sometimes I can be left confused on what exactly to do. But at the same time, yeah, it helps with having things all set up already. But also, at the same time, you kind of do lack that freedom of, oh, I think it would be better if we just did it this way, but I don't know how well it'll affect the story later on if I change something so drastically. So I feel like both have their pros and cons. I'm fine playing either. It just really depends on how much time I have. So.
Yeah, I've never DM'd, but the thing that the thing that scares me about it is, like, the concept of homebrew and, like, having to just create everything and know how everything works. Because those are, like, the only games I've ever played have been homebrewed. So, like, that just, like, that's all I know. And so, like, that concept scares me. And I think, like, if I were to ever DM, I would definitely want to use, like modules or, like, stories from books and, like, things like that, where, like, it's all... And, like, this is my, like, career instincts also coming out, because it's basically just, like, directing or, like, managing creativity, where, like, I don't want to be the one to create everything, but I can, like, make it happen if it's given to me. Like, if I write it down, like, I can make it look nice. If it's really somebody else does the hard work.
Really good comparison.
Yeah. Because it's the same, like, that I started realizing that a while ago, that, like, it's the same feeling that I get when I think of directing. Like, I can't, like, write a play, but if somebody gives me a script, I can put it on stage and make it look really good. And, like, that's how I think of DMing. But playing them, I mean, I've only ever played homebrew, so I don't really know anything else. It's fun. But I can't compare it to anything yet.
Yeah, I've played homebrew and, you know, obviously official, like, modules and such. The first game I ever played was a Minds of Phandelver game. Tom and Alex were in that. Lasted 2 sessions. And the first session, I feel like, is both It had one of like my favorite moments of any game I've been in, and it also is a really good reason why I'm always a little wary of the official stuff. Because the start of that module is you get ambushed by a bunch of goblins. And what happened within our game was that our like tanky healing cleric and paladin went down, so it was just my wild magic sorcerer and Brian's ranger hiding in a cart, like shooting out at small to like our level 1 character's horde of goblins. And it was great, and also terrifying. And playing through Avernus kind of reinforced this idea of these modules seem pretty intense in a lot of places. So I do think I favor Homebrew, even though I've had a lot of enjoyment with the official stuff.
Is it my turn? Am I up next?
Yeah.
I think you're the last one.
I've had the most time to think about it, and I still don't know.
That's fair.
Like Homebrew, as far as like playing a Homebrew, it's not much different than playing pre-written campaign. Just because it's like, as long as like I'm like completely oblivious to the world and the lore, then it's completely the same. The only thing with like a homebrew is that I don't know for sure that encounters are going to be balanced, but who's to say any encounters are balanced? I think that as far as running one, I think running a homebrew game is a lot easier than running a pre-written one, just because I have all the information. I don't have to kind of like almost look up this whole thing that someone else came up with and be able to answer questions about it. I'm not in school anymore. I guess like the other side of like rules is written versus homebrew, it's like classes and races, and like I think I'm a big fan of, if you don't see something that you like, make your own. I
agree with that too.
I know there's 2 classes that I want to make, like 2 full classes, not subclasses.
Oh, those are fun.
If I ever write them, you might see them in this campaign as NPCs. and that's just me being, is this gonna work? Are they gonna get scared by this thing?
Why not?
I think I agree a lot with that. Or it's so much easier to like, if someone asks a question, it's way easier to be like, this sounds good, I'll make that work, and then to be like, hold on, it's on page 32, and like have to find it. I've only played Princes of the Apocalypse.
For official source material?
Yeah, that's the one that we played. Yes or no?
A heavily modified version.
Yeah, we finished it, but the campaign isn't over, and we're all like level 30. So that campaign's a mess. But it's it's very strange. But that's fair.
You're familiar with this. It's
What?
the broken
Not
game.
finishing campaigns?
The broken game. My level 20 warlock, who's also a level 9 barbarian and a level 9 fighter.
Yes, as you do.
That game's it's a game.
I didn't realize that was a Princess of the Apocalypse game.
Yeah, it was Princess of the Apocalypse. It's not anymore. Yeah.
They killed the princes a long time ago. Now they are the apocalypse.
Yeah, we've talked about that. At this point, we're thinking about our characters turning into villains and trying to destroy the rest of the party. But anyway, they don't watch this stream, so that's their problem.
Why don't they watch this stream, Mary?
One of them is invited, and she's the only one who's ever watched the stream. she's invited to join our attack on the rest of the party. But anyway, it would be a true neutral attack. It'd be fine. I think I like Homebrew a lot because I like writing things. Although I have realized recently that I am more of a character writer than a world writer, which maybe that makes me like playing Homebrew more because I can make up more things and I like working. I've really enjoyed like Tom being like, hey, here's a crazy idea, can I do this instead? Can I make this like how the Shadow Kai work, and like learning about what he's doing with Shadow Kai and having like specifically Sylvanas, a lot of Sylvanas influencing the character and working with that. I like that part of Homebrew. I think it's cool.
So,
Mary, do you mean asking the entire lineage of a certain race for a one-shot?
You influenced a character that I've been using for a full year at this point. We played a one-shot on Halloween. Zek is one of my favorite characters. I love that Aarakocra. Also, I love that idea for Aarakocra. That makes Aarakocra a legitimate playable race. That fix that you have for Aarakocra, 100%. I love it.
Oh, thanks.
It's fantastic.
Thanks.
I'm going to build off of something that Mary said. Going back to like DMing a Homebrew campaign, with people who have. You good?
Did you choke on your non-brand soda?
Going back to DMing a Homebrew campaign, like when you have people who have experience playing the game and like know the rules and like know a lot of the options available to characters, throwing in something Homebrew that's a surprise to everyone is a lot of fun.
I agree.
And like Mary asking like a whole bunch of stuff about stuff for her character, like gives me a chance to build on something that like maybe like had like a little bit of a hole in it, and can just work on filling that in a little bit, because that's a lot of my style is everything's empty until you get there.
It should be. That's the best way to do it. What's the goddamn time to fill everyone in? They pay so many people to do that. You can't do it yourself. Don't do it yourself.
So what you're saying is you should totally derail the campaign and go somewhere completely off course.
But if I know what direction you're going, that's enough for me.
Look, all I'm saying is I am sure we can overpower the crew and become pirates.
I you know what? I considered this. I considered like, you know, what if I just went ahead? What if Gorgon just decided to trust the party and know and like just tell them what a bit about Gorgon's backstory while they were on the ship, and then perhaps just throw my alleged sister overboard and then go back home. But
yikes!
Oh boy!
I guess I'm taking notes again.
I want to rewind from that terrifying conversation, and just ask a question for Tom. Who has asked you the most world lore for their character?
I like how Alex thinks it's him, but I'm not sure. It's between him and Mary.
the reason why I say that is because I one time legit just asked him, all right, I want to know everything about dragons. And I felt really bad afterward.
You couldn't even wait for the book to come out, you know?
I didn't wait for the book to come out. I should have.
I've been holding off.
Not sponsored.
I want to know everything about the Shadowfell question, because that's not a good question.
Oh, there's a question that Mary asked a long time ago that I think I can finally answer. That it's not a spoiler.
Which is?
Strahd exists.
Great, cool.
Strahd exists in our world?
Yes, that's true, because I made up a cute legend that like their shadow dancer is so good that they crept through Strahd's whole domain and he never noticed. And Tom was like, yeah, maybe there might be a vampire king, but I don't know if it's Strahd yet.
Well, like one of the things that I saw from like some D&D like official thing was like they want you to use like official D&D stuff in like campaigns like this that are streamed online. It's just that I can't say that I created it.
Fair.
I did not create Strahd. But what's going to be in this campaign, possibly at some point, maybe, I don't know, is my version of Strahd. Like, I'm not looking up Curse of Strahd and going to run Curse of Strahd in the middle of this campaign. Strahd just exists.
That's cool that they want creators to use stuff in that way. It'd be kind of rude if they didn't.
Yeah.
So it's like how the gods in Critical Role go by nicknames.
Oh, Kobe.
I mean, it's not like all my gods are based off of Pokemon or anything. That's not true. Don't worry about that.
They're not all of them.
What is that?
They are.
No.
Sylvanas.
She is influenced by a Pokemon.
Well,
Isn't it like by the same name too?
No, Sylvanas is a character in the Warcraft universe.
heckin' cool.
But
I've never played Warcraft in my life. I think she's awesome.
well, Sylvanas is also one of my favorite characters in the Warcraft universe, so it made sense. But the Pokemon that Sylvanas is based off of is Darkrai.
That makes sense.
But Darkrai, I think its name like translates somehow to like dark, and I didn't know how to translate that into a god name.
It's moon.
I know no one probably has it on hand, but Sylvanas's symbol is kind of like Darkrai with a bow. I'm gonna see if I can find it.
Darkrai with a bow?
With a bow? Or with like
Nope, didn't want that.
bow?
With like a bow.
Bow. I think with the bow, if I'm thinking about... I think the bow is facing down?
Something like that. Do I have it on here?
I feel like if I saw the symbol, if he presented us with a selection of symbols and made the 3 religious characters guess which one is our god symbol,
That's not happening.
that would be a fun game. I would play that game.
Maybe I'd know it when I saw it, but I can't say I would.
Unless... Actually, you know what? I probably would be able to get Aurora's because it's probably just a Thunderbolt in some way, right?
That sounds right.
Right.
Whereas
That's all it could be.
So it's Pikachu.
No, it's Aurora's backwards.
How do you
Zero
spell
Aura.
Aurora's? I don't know what that one is.
Catman in Pokemon Unite.
Oh, that's the one. That's the one that I saw in that new Pokemon trailer for Pokemon Legends.
Yeah.
Adam
TV
West.
show? Game.
No, the game. Yeah, the Arceus one, the one where it's like Monster Hunter Pokemon.
Right, Pokemon, but in the Samurai world.
Yeah. Like that was in the new trailer, and
Are the gods on the Crobaton World Anvil?
I think some of them are.
Oh yeah, I should probably use my World Anvil. I don't have a campaign running right now.
Guys, I love World Anvil. It's such a nice way. Hashtag not spawn.
Not a
It's such a
sponsor.
nice way to keep track of all of your lore stuff.
Yeah.
meanwhile I just shove everything in a Google Doc and then.
I have like 20 Google Docs. I don't know where to find anything anymore. I have to put it on the World Anvil. I can't find it.
I use OneNote. I like OneNote.
OneNote's good. I like OneNote. The only reason that I got a World Anvil was because I had expected at some point to be needing to share it with my players, and then every campaign I've run so far has fallen through. So I like just it's there, it exists. I haven't updated it.
Alright, that works good enough for me. So that's Sylvanas' symbol. It's on the stream.
It's on the street.
Yeah. So the bow's facing up.
Yes.
No, it's just Zen's umbrella.
It's not Zen's
But,
umbrella anymore.
Yeah, the bottom is kind of based off of what Darkride's bottom looks like.
I see it.
It also kind of mimics like what I think like a banshee might look like in that kind of artistry. So yeah.
If you look in the negative spaces, it's a man wearing a hat with a mustache.
Okay.
No, I see it. I
That's
see.
why you don't go to a therapist. You tell them that, and they're like, "Oh."
And
It's two
that's
bears high-fiving
that's Aurora's symbol.
for any Fallout fans there.
Someone with a third eye and electric eyebrows.
Angry man.
Oh.
I'm pretty
Not
sure
that
that's just like Zero Aura's face, and I just removed things. Because like, he's got like the
Pretty sure-
Thunderbolt whiskers. I think he's got like a thing on the top, and then I think he has
Oh, yeah.
cheeks or something.
I'm pretty sure that's Raiden from Mortal Kombat.
What does it look like if you're upside down?
Where is Cold?
Oh! If you're upside down, it's a guy with a Fu Manchu.
It's a very surprised guy. Ooh, my mustache. It's
There's
pointy.
a
Yeah,
Cabal.
there it is. I think
It's-
you mean Crobaton.
Cabal is what it's actually called. I don't know the name of this guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
it's Gobi.
That's why I ultimately chose him, because like, it sounds like Cobalt, so I'm gonna go with it. And yeah, it did fit lore-wise, but the Cobalt thing was pretty good.
It's a beaver.
That's also why Croton's prayer beads are Cobalt.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
You're themed after the Three Musketeers dogs, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Cabalion, Terrakian, and Vrisian.
Oh, they're the best trio. like Palkia and Dialga, sure, but like Three Musketeers dogs. Good soup.
Do we have any more topics or questions before we wrap up? 'Cause it is quarter after.
I think we're good.
I just have the one thing actually, jumping off of something Justin said earlier about I think he said if Tasha's had been out earlier, he would have gone with a Mercy Monk.
Oh yes.
But I think it's interesting because if that had happened, I probably would have played a cleric in this campaign. 'Cause one of my first thoughts was, I might play a cleric here. But looking at what everyone else was kind of doing, I was like, if I played a cleric, he'd have to be someone who could do some tanky stuff. And then I'd be like doing the same thing that Justin was, so I didn't want to do that. So I switched over to Paladin. Well, I switched over to Druid, and then I switched over to Paladin.
The only reason I'm playing a druid this campaign is because I saw that we
Cleric.
needed healing. It's the only reason Edelweiss exists.
I feel like Druid will probably be my next character I make.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fun.
The newer druids have some funky stuff with them.
Oh,
My
Fire Spirit.
Druid idea would have been also a black dragonborn, but it would have been like a Circle of the Land Druid from a swamp, so it would have been all acid based and all of like the spells and stuff.
Ooh.
Aren't so so still a black acid based dragonborn.
Yeah.
Well, Throden as a paladin is not acid based. Throden is
Yeah.
acid based because he's a black dragon.
Yeah. One is conveniently.
He doesn't really have
You
any acid
make
spells.
it more of your personality.
Yeah. The reason I stuck with Black Dragon was also because I like Red Eyes Black Dragon from Yu-Gi-Oh! And I like the aesthetic of it.
Amazing.
Ah, the best dragon.
I really like the basic character concept of scary looking dude actually super nice.
Yeah. That was fun.
Fun concept.
Alright,
Time to go brush our teeth.
yes, there's nothing else. Thank you all for watching this edition of Crobatalks. We will probably be back with another episode of Crobaton next week. We'll see. So like end of episode things, Twitter, Discord. Mare makes cool art, even though she's not here. She still makes cool art. If you're watching on Twitch, don't forget to follow, maybe subscribe. The episodes are live 9 p.m. Wednesdays Eastern Time. Episodes go live 6 p.m. on the Friday after on YouTube as a premiere. If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and ring that bell. Yeah, I think that's it. And for anything, right?
No, we all good.
See you all next week.
Bye. Crobatalks was today. Everybody shout hooray.
Yay!
Hooray.
We didn't need to even play. Okay.